The too long didn't read headline would be Kamala Harris pays Oprah Winfrey $1 million during campaign. That's not what happened. It's not even close what happened, but we'll explain the big deal. But since there's so much going on this weekend, I don't think this is going to make a really big dent because it's so last minute on the Sunday to make it towards the morning for Monday morning for things you might have heard so it gets shot to go through later this week. But I want to drop something here right now just in case it doesn't make it because this is something that needs a bit of explanation that people are going to jump onto either side, and both sides have reason to complain about this one. Here is what happened. We're going to read from a rundown from some articles that are going right now, basically talking about the malfeasance, and it's not really so much malfeasance that is really something wasting money in a bad sense. Well, it's wasting money, but not so much doing it in a bad way, but just not paying attention. There's a deeper story to this. Vice President Kamala Harris, in a 2024 presidential campaign as herself, not with Joe Biden. Of course, she raised over $1 billion as herself in her basically 3 months of running as the main candidate, not the war chest that was Biden-Harris. Her team paid $1 million to Harpo Productions, which is owned by Oprah Winfrey, her company. And they produced Unite for America, a live stream event that held on September the 19th. This payment covered the expenses of a production company, the set design, the lighting, the crew services, all the stuff you do to hire out a studio to do a show. Oprah clarified that when she showed up on the event, she participated in her own standing, was not paid anything. The quote she said, "I was paid nothing, comma, ever." She was speaking up for Harris in her words because she thought Harris was the right person to go for the country. She did not think Trump was the right person. She was pulling for Kamala Harris for many, many reasons, personal as she stated. However, one of the biggest issues about this $1 million spent was that it obviously wasn't a good $1 million spent because she raised $1 billion and she not only came up short in losing the election, but came up $20 million short in debt after things were over. And this is not just one of many things that were questioned. Having this big, glitzy, old school event when Donald Trump just shows up on Fox News and they take care of it for him. Or she calls Newsmax on a regular Tuesday and it's taken care of for him. Or he sits down with Joe Rogan for 3 hours and talks about whatever they talk about for 3 hours because I didn't listen to it. I don't have a care to listen to what he has to say, but he did it. Trump did all the rounds, all the things, and we're finding out more things about what's going on, including what's not in this article, the fact that Kamala Harris's team paid a whole lot of money to recreate the set for Call Her Daddy when the host of that show was like, my set doesn't cost that much. Why they pay that much for, some cardboard stickers? It's ridiculous how much money was spent by the Harris campaign. And now there's a lot of hand wringing about how they lost, how things didn't connect, how they couldn't really get a message out. And that's a problem. But to be totally clear, it's important to note that this payment that was this $1 million on the books to Harpo Productions was for event services. Just like we complain about Donald Trump not paying for his rally stuff, he shows up and doesn't pay for security and doesn't pay all the folks' bills there. This is Kamala Harris paying her bills up front. There's no evidence that she passed any cash to Oprah Winfrey. She says she did it for her own self. They just so happened to use her production company, which may be but it's not so much Oprah got paid. There's no real indication that they paid Beyonce, although people believe Beyonce got a performance fee for that event, and that event was probably super costly because there was security and things going forward with that one. There's no real listing of all the things Harris spent money on for her campaigns that did not get effective wins because it was a blowout. She lost big time, and she lost because of a bad message. She lost because she couldn't connect with people. She lost to a person who I totally believe will do us wrong again, but they believe that's the people that eggs cost too much and Kamala Harris is the problem. And that's what happened. She didn't communicate that she was not the problem for eggs or that Donald Trump would be a bigger problem. That's not the point of this video here. This is mismanagement in funds. I said malfeasance. It's not really malfeasance. It's just spending money on the wrong thing. Not buying groceries and buying candy instead, and then realizing you're hungry later because you didn't buy groceries. What do you think about Kamala Harris and her performance, her spending performance, and Oprah maybe or maybe not being paid to perform with Kamala Harris? There's still plenty of postmortem to do for the Harris campaign. There's lots of stuff going for it because the Democrats have to throw somebody up for run for president in 4 years, and they got to figure it out literally now because their time is running out, believe it or not, to get the right person in the queue. So people are thinking about it, because if the comments was, I didn't know who Kamala Harris was after 4 years of being a vice president, a few years as being a senator, and just sort of, dating Montel Williams. Willie Brown's really the bigger story, but dated Montel Williams as well. Then earning $1 billion, spending a bunch on commercials, and then Donald Trump overplay a thing where even the people who were in it, Charlamagne the God saying he didn't like the fact that he was taken out of context for a transgender commercial that was overplayed or replaced, but he still agreed he didn't want transgender people in bathrooms or whatever it was. It's a mess. Kamala didn't win. Democrats didn't win. Trump won. We congratulate President-elect Donald Trump. We're glad he's out there speaking with world leaders, getting things in order. We hope things don't go as chaotic as it did last time, but we're pretty sure they will. He'll give us plenty of content going forward for 4 years. Kamala Harris will not, unless she decides to run for governor. We shall see. But I want to know from you about her, the campaign, specifically cash paid, poorly paid for a campaign. Let me know in the comments of this video, or of course, email us for deeper discussion at theconversationinbox@gmail.com.